things, and it's looking like it's going to be a very interesting couple hours of CSGO here. We've got a lot to dissect and a lot to pray for, depending on whether you're a SANGAL or an Endpoint fan. One thing's for sure, it's going to be a little bit confusing. That much I know. As we wait and see early what we get into. Let's not worry our heads too much about the grand scheme of things, as this is the last ESEA Premier matchup, or last day of matchups, I should say. Last for both of these teams, as well as now. It's very quickly in towards this B site, rather, from the Endpoint side. They get themselves a couple opening kills. They get themselves a man advantage. And it's a 4-on-3 now with post-plant setups. Thomas has once again changed his picture. This time he's gone for the purge, I think. He's looking to purge out SANGAL from this server, I guess. He does get a kill for himself, but the rest of the team mop the rest up. And his Endpoint securing a very nice opening round. Pistol goes their way, as they start off strong on their map pick here on the T side. Of course, SANGAL, they're going to go for that 4 spy. Why wouldn't you with this current economy? You go for the 4 deagles, the scout. Sensei leaves a little bit of extra cash just in reserve so we can get that AWP up in the first gun round if he pleases. And he probably will please. Again, Endpoint looking towards his B site. Thomas already getting an opening with that MAC-10. But Major has a very nice shot to try and limit the success Endpoint have into the site. Only able for the 1, though. Sensei's scout does finish off Surreal. So 3-on-3 as the bomb gets planted. There is going to be a flank from Engine as well. He's going to be coming through Underground over towards the apartments. That Molotov laid down by Crucial. Not really going to affect Engine. He's making noise, though, so I think they'll have a player watching this angle now. Engine just trying to give himself a bit of space to work with, but Paz spots out Mighty Max creeping around the door. Mighty Max still takes down his teammate, but Paz is in a great position to find damage, and 2 quick kills come through. This is a hefty round! Oh, SANGAL! Paz, he steals it all away from Endpoint there, 3 crisp shots on the deagle. And they do manage to get the defuse in just in the nick of time as well. It was looking so nice for Endpoint there. They get themselves into the site. They get themselves the advantage. It doesn't last for long. But still a 3-on-3 post plan. And a time wearing down. You think SANGAL are going to be up against it. And they were. But Paz. What a great sequence of kills there from him on the deagle. I'm surprised the player at Pillar. I can't remember who it was at the end there. On the Endpoint side. I'm surprised they peeked out that quickly. Not even a bomb tap or anything. But maybe want to try and find a bit of intel, bring it into a 1-on-1 situation rather than a 1-on-2. But Endpoint, they'll go for the reinvestment themselves. AK, a couple Galeals as they push in towards this A site. And they go 2 for 1. The Galeals finding a couple kills courtesy of Mighty Max. And they look to get that bomb planted as well. So this could be Endpoint fighting back almost instantly. To give Endpoint back the lead. With Surreal on the flank, taking down Major. This is all coming Endpoint's way. Just Immol left, who's managed to creep himself around the back lines in towards the Palace. But Crucial is watching for this, and Crucial will probably take his head off when he peeks around the corner. Maybe not the head, but he riddles the body with bullets. That's for sure. Takes him down, puts Endpoint back in the lead here, and I think SANGAL with that, you have to go for the 4 spy here. You got a couple players around that $1,400 mark. That is not enough to go basically for a full buy in the next. You're gonna have to take a 4 spy here and eco next as well. Either way, you're not buying up until the 6th round, so that's where you're at. Major does get an MP9 in for this round. It's a few deagles, just a USP for Sensei, as he leaves a bit of extra cash in reserve for the AWP once again, rather. Look at the presence from SANGAL over towards A. They've got 4 players already ready to defend this A site, and Engine's now starting to create shots with this deagle. Does get the first. They want to try and flash through this smoke over by the ramp to try and support their teammates, but that's not going to work out with Major on the MP9, and Sensei gets one with the USP as well. There is trades coming through, but it's only Mighty Max, and once again, Sangal with the low economy, with the low buy. They come out with a round again, 2 players survive. This time they bring an AK and an AUG out of it. And again, they tie things up. Endpoint struggling to get themselves these sort of rounds that would just catapult them into an early lead here. As Endpoint, they go for the full buy once again, or everything they can invest into this one. It's a couple AKs, a couple of Deagles, scout for Thomas. Maybe they can fight back, but look at the weaponry for Sangal in this one. It's it's 5 rifles actually, 4 CT weapons and that AK-47 in the hands of Engine. That's a lot of weaponry to try and get over. Maybe this is a nice opening. Surreal. The AK long range against Immor does net an opening kill, and Endpoint will be happy with that. Now looking to work further in. Surreal's going to double himself up, gets a second kill. Could find Major as well, but no. Major's a step too far. The AUG works out for that kill on the low HP Surreal. And just holding mouse one Major. Gets a second kill. Could find more here from this position. Finally gets put to bed by Crucial, but it's a 2-on-2 with still just that scout for Crucial. Doesn't matter if you hit the head, though, because that Crucial scout is going to put you to bed. Now just Engine alone, and it's Crucial scout that cleans things up. And once again, Endpoint fight back. 3-2, lead back in their favor, but can they finally secure a round that should be going their way here? Again, it's just going to be pistols brought up by the Sangal side. Maybe a couple SMGs. Well, the scout comes through for Immor. And Sangal once again want to try and tie this game back up. And I wouldn't put it past them to do it once more here. Neither team's been looking confident so far on these sort of anti-force buys. And again, Paz just walks up mid, gets an opening kill into Crucial. Luckily, Mighty Max doesn't allow him to escape unpunished. But still, that's good for Sangal. That's a great opener, and that's going to put pressure on Endpoint. You've lost that early man. And in terms of the investment for both of these teams, you've got a much higher investment from the Endpoint side. Luckily for Surreal, though, that's a kill that won't be going Major's way. It does bring things into a 4v3 Surreal. Now they just need to try and clean things up. But they've been in this sort of position before already this game. Just a couple of rounds ago, and we'll see if they can do better in this position than they did last time. Sensei so very close to these players over by Connector. If you could find a shot, that would be great. Does get a bit of damage onto Mighty Max, but not enough. And with that, these last 2 players for Sangal over towards this B site. They're just going to save these weapons, I assume, because you've got the next round coming up where you're not going to be able to invest anything. It has to be the full eco, and this is finally Endpoint breaking the economy, breaking the sort of back and forth of these rounds, and putting themselves in a decent position going forward. In fact, it doesn't matter too much with the back and forth here, because winning this one out with the 4 players alive, that's going to help out the economy quite a bit. And if they can get this next round down cleanly, you're in a pretty strong position where you have a nice economy going into that first gun round. So it's not too dissimilar actually from just securing like a clean 3-0 at the start off the back of the conversions. You're going to be in a very similar position. Only thing that might be a little bit different is I think Sangal might be struggling a little bit more with the economy going into the next round than they would do if it was a 3-0. Now, Endpoint, the goal is just to clean this one up. You've got a couple of Deagles, a scout to contend with. It's not a massive investment, but it could still do a bit of damage. I mean, Paz isn't. He's dead. But that Deagle's changed his hands now into Sensei's. fingertips. And Imo with the scout has found one, but King Mezzi from the Palace. Mezzi certainly is a bit of a king on this endpoint roster. But he only finds the one for now. Major's still alive in the corner. Maybe Mezzi can finish him up, and he will. 5th on the board for endpoint. 3 players alive. Not what you'd hope for. You'd be hoping for maybe 4 or 5 alive and around like that. But 3, it's enough. It's not hurting your economy, but you're not sort of able to build it up at the rate you'd be hoping for in a round like that. But it certainly means that you still got enough for a rebuy if you need to. You can see Mezzi 6k, Mighty Max 6.5k, Crucial 4k. You do have Thomas and Surreal a little bit lower on the cash. They're at about 1,600. So a loss here would mean they're only at, what, $3,000 heading to the next round? So it'd probably be Galil and Armor maybe for them. But that's a very nice opening, and I guess that doesn't matter if you win the round out either way. This flank from Imo could be very, very cheeky. I'm not sure if he's just been spotted out, though, but Mezzi is holding for this flank. Galil in hand could find the very quick shot, and he will. That just locks things down. I think that forces SANGAL into just a save here. I know I'm living about 2.5 minutes in the future right now, in stream terms, because obviously of the delay. But TomTom, you might want to rethink the word consummate there. I'm not sure that's the word you were going for. Yeah, because I'm not consummating any marriages right now. Oh. Oh wait, it does. The consummate. Wait, does that word have 2 meanings? Cause I know of the meaning to bang bang after getting married, but yeah, does it actually mean to have like good skill in something? Oh, either way, into the next round, it is a bit of a mishmash buy from SANGAL, but it's worked out nicely for an opening kill. Nice work from Mighty Max to find a couple, though. Major does cut him down at just the 2, but Sensei Zorp is going to make life a little bit more difficult for Endpoint as they want to get that bomb planted. And they will be able to, especially with Mezzi. Just riddling bullets through that smoke. Takes down Major, leaves Sensei now, and I think that jump will have been heard. Mezzi spots out the shadow. Just fires off some shots around the corner, and there you go. 7 on the board for Endpoint. They are really streaking to a bit of an early lead here, 7-2. They don't really want to be looking back at this point, because... yeah, I mean, only 2 players surviving that previous round, but bomb plants coming through, good kills coming through. Our economy's still in a strong point, Endpoint. Of course... SANGAL with the full buy-in with 2 very early kills here might make Endpoint a little bit jittery in this round. Because, I mean, there was danger in that previous round just off the back of sort of saved weapons, but now you've got Endpoint in a very, very dire position. Imo's flank as well, securing another kill. Surreal will take him down, the flanker of the flank. But is it going to be enough with Thomas already working in towards the site? A huge kill to find. Does get himself a second of the round, Thomas. And now, that's now a 2-on-2. Surreal can make his way over towards that B site with the bomb. Thomas just needs to try and stay alive for as long as possible. Make sure there's as few avenues as possible. But Sensei with the AWP. That would have been a huge kill to find. Can only find the tag. But with 16 HP, Surreal not going to last much longer. Especially as his teammate did get taken down. So, SANGAL finally get a gun round on the board, 3-7. As they close up the gap a little bit, but Endpoint, they'll have enough for the rebuy here, not to worry about that. And they still have a little bit of cash in reserve as well. They can probably buy up another. I'm sort of waiting for a chance to try and talk about the sort of greater position of the ESEA Premier now, with this being the last game and who's going to make it to playoffs, but I've just not got a chance. It's just action constantly here in this opening map as and towards the B site, or the A site rather. Paz just put up a pretty strong defense, but it's still only good enough for a 2-on-2. Major and Imor now need to try and lock this one down for Sangal to find another round on the board. Nice long-range spray from Major. Does deal with Crucial, and with Imor sliding in, there's no respite at all for anybody. Sangal post a fourth, but again, 2 players surviving for them. They're not able to build the economy they want to in these sorts of rounds. Endpoint still in a position where they can rip apart Sangal's economy here. You've got Paz at $1,600. Everybody else is $500 or less. There is not enough economy. And with these 2 rounds in a row for Sangal, there's not going to be massive loss bonus either. Nice opening from Mezzy, though. Engine just trying to go a little bit aggressive. It's a very nice opening for Endpoint, and one that Sangal maybe wish they could take back. There's Mezzy going to double himself up. A nice push in towards the A site with the assistance of Max's flashbangs, but Sensei is still alive, and Mezzy not looking the right way. Still finds the kill. I'm not sure Sensei was ready for him there either, as it's looking like Endpoint are going to find an 8th on the board here early on Mirage and definitely lock things down. And Endpoint do just lock this one down. Major last alive, 1v4. Is he really going to try this? Smoke, diffuse kit. He's going for it. This is absolutely ludicrous. And the smoke was a little bit off as well. Mighty Max had clear view of Major's noggin there. I respect the hustle, I respect the grind. But you gotta do more than that to have good times, I'm afraid. And now we're just pistols for the Sangal side. Maybe this is a chance to talk about the grand scheme, the grand picture, I guess, of the ESEA Premier Group A right now, because Endpoint are right on the cusp of making playoffs, as are Sangal, as are Game Legion, as are AGO. All 4 of them could be in contention for a bit of a tiebreaker here. You've got Sangal and AGO sit at 15 points. You've got Game Legion and Endpoint at 12 points. So if Endpoint and Game Legion win, and AGO lose to Anonymo, then you've got a 4-way tiebreak between AGO, Sangal, Game Legion, and Endpoint. And this is for the free remaining spots available for players, because Sinners already locked themselves in for this for 4 playoffs, sitting at the top. But yeah, AGO, Sangal, Game Legion, Endpoint. I think Endpoint, well, basically Endpoint have to win this. If they don't, there's no chance. Winning 2-0 makes things a lot easier. If Game Legion win, I think it's up to whether... I think Endpoint have to win 2-0 if Game Legion win. But I think if Endpoint win 2-1, or just win this map, or if Endpoint just win this game, and Game Legion lose to Sprout, then it doesn't matter what happens. Endpoint will beat Sangal on the tiebreaker. Basically in essentially a head-to-head sort of deal, but it's a bit more complex than that. But yeah, so then that'll be the top 4 sorted, and Game Legion would just miss out on a playoff spot. So that's sort of what we're aiming for. Keep an eye on the other games. Keep an eye mostly on the Game Legion Sprout game. I expect AGO to pretty easily take down Anonymo, so don't worry too much about that. But with another gun round coming through, an endpoint already on 9, it's looking like they might find double digits here with the opening kill. But Engine, that's a nice peek. Surreal, if he pushes through the smoke, could become a bit of fodder. But no, gets a great timing to find Engine just turned the other way. So 3-on-2 for endpoint as they have a decent bit of control towards this A site, but you still got to deal with Imor with an AWP over towards the ticket booth, who's actually going to take a peek in towards Connector and take down Surreal. That's a great kill to find. That evens things up into this 2-on-2, and with Thomas and Mighty Max both chipped away on a bit of HP, Thomas down to 14, Mighty Max at 70. Things are a bit more difficult, and look at Major's position as well. He's over by short. He's going to make sure that they aren't going to be able to get a good position on that plant over towards the triple box. Just slowed things down massively, endpoint. They're waiting to see if SANGAL go for the information play. Right now, they're just happy to sit and sort of bide their time. And it works out wonderfully for them because they know that endpoint has to make a move. And when they do make the move, Imor and Major are ready. 5 on the board for SANGAL, denying endpoint double digits for now, but there is still another round to play for, and plenty of economy for endpoint, where they will go for the full investment here. Crucial will bring that all back out for the UK side, despite him being a Dutchman. Loves the waffles, probably. And SANGAL, even though they won that previous round, they've still not got the greatest economy. You've still got Sensei on an MP9 engine on a FAMAS. No utility for him, really, apart from a smoke. It's a great flashbang. Just forces Paz off the angle. Removes the danger of him spraying into his teammates, pushing out underground. A lot of damage. A lot of damage. And a kill coming through as well from Paz's Molotov there. Takes down Thomas. Imor setting endpoint up here for a... Oh, sorry, in SANGAL up here. Sorry, for a 6th on the board here with that second kill as well. Onto the player mid. That was Mighty Max, the IGL hitting the deck. And now endpoint now in a 3-on-5. Looking like they want to try and progress in towards his B side. But look at the space Engine has gotten on the map. He's already round the back of them towards apartments. If he can... get the time in here, that would be huge, but Imor still finding shots towards his B side. It's all up towards Mezzi, a 1v5, and surely no way out of this one. Does find a first, but I think that's his days numbered, as it is a 6th on the board for SANGAL. Securing a few at the end there of the half makes things a little bit more lively for them. But overall, endpoint looking pretty strong in the first map here. It is their map pick. Do just wait for the second half to get going now. Just a bit of an update. Actually, I better be careful about how I update people because I don't want to give you the live score. Considering, obviously, there's the delay on with GoTV and the stream delays. So if you are watching Sprout Game Legion as well, I don't want to spoil anything for you. However, it looks like the... Ooh. I'll just check the stream to see where they're at, so I don't ruin anything. Right now it's 6-6 Sprout Game Legion on Ancient, which is the Sprout map pick. So, yeah, they're a little bit behind us, so it could be that that our game ends up ending before theirs. We'll have to wait and see, though. Obviously, a long way to go as we do head into the second half now. But yeah, just keep an eye on the Sprout Game Legion matchup. That's really the one we want to be focusing on if you are SANGAL and or if you're an endpoint or a SANGAL fan at this point. Both going to be worried about what that scoreline might bring, but Thomas should have just been worried about what Sensei was going to do here, as well as Mezzi, because Sensei has just walked in towards his B site, got him 2 kills. Major just bursts Crucial to the face and loads a full load right all over his face. It's disgusting. And it's Endpoint already down bad in this pistol. Mighty Max with 7 HP, along with Surreal. They're in a 2-on-4. Make it a 2-on-3 with a nice kill onto Immo, just walking sideways into Surreal's crosshair. Not the hardest shot in the world. Relatively an easy shot, actually. But SANGAL have still got Paz deep in towards his B site. He's over by bench, and I think Surreal expects him to be there. Certainly finds a bit of intel, gets a few shots off, but who's going to win the fight? It's Surreal. 2-on-2 now, and surely SANGAL don't let this one slip. A smoke from Mighty Max just to try and work a little bit further forward, and actually he's able to pick up a second smoke as well inside of that first, but look how far Major's gone, and he might spot Mighty Max's feeties around that smoke. Is Mighty Max ever going to expect him to be on his right here? Endpoint want to try and push forward. Major now makes his position known. Surreal left alone. 1v2. Looking to try and find these players. One towards short. Oh, Jesus Christ, Surreal. That was naughty, and so was that. Surreal, no way he does that. Oh. Bear with, guys. I need to get a change of pants for that one. Oh. 4 kills for Surreal in the round. What a pistol round to pick up as well, as he defuses the bomb. 10 on the board, and SANGAL, they had themselves what was that? It was definitely a 5-on-3, potentially a 5-on-2 as well there. Oh, yeah, I just remembered as well. Thank you, Jerry. I've just remembered as well, because what I say here is still going to be 150 seconds delay to you guys. So I can say my actual score, and it'll be the actual score that you see when you look at the stream. Yeah, because when I say what the stream score is now, which is already 150 seconds delayed, you'll then get another 150 seconds delay to you guys, because I'm on a delay as well. So yeah, I can say there's just the default score, can't I? That's banging. That makes life easier for me. As the half has ended 8-7 in the Sprout Game Legion game. Second half just started now, so yeah. Yeah, so pretty close first half there on Sprout Game Legion. Just keep an eye on it. I won't be giving constant updates, but I'll be keeping an eye every so often. As this is a very slow round. Jesus, how long have I been talking? 1:50 apparently, because somehow it's 13 seconds on the clock, and SANGAL are only just approaching in the site. Mezzy getting a couple with his FAMAS. Has pretty much secured the round now for the Endpoint side, as Immo tries to go on the flank for anything he can. Mainly just wanted to die. Maybe take one player down with him, but not to be. Just a 1 kill found, I think, for SANGAL there. And Endpoint secure a very nice conversion. But SANGAL, they bring the full guns out now. They went for a pretty low-cost round in that one. Nice nade from Crucial. Does a little bit of damage onto Immo. Chips away about a third of his HP. Will make these MP9s a little bit more effective against him, because obviously Endpoint on a bit of a bonus round here, but they don't want to let too much slip here, because they don't really have the cash behind them to fully invest if everybody goes down and they lose the round. Nice kill from Surreal, though, does give them that man advantage. He takes a lot of damage for his efforts, but Crucial's MP9 still finding more damage, and it even gets the plant a little bit delayed as well as the kill. So 5-on-3 now. A couple of these SANGAL players hemmed in towards the back of site. Sensei's going to fight his way out, though. 8 HP for him. Somehow makes it out of there alive. Kemezi has kept the endpoint side in the advantage as Sensei 8 HP, Paz 68. These two need to try and defend against these last few endpoint players who are pushing forward. And Sensei not expecting the peak from Crucial there. Leaves it all up towards Paz, who just can't. Can't get the kills, and endpoint 12 on the board. And now double the scoreline of SANGAL. We do have a pause coming through, and I can inform you that it is the SANGAL Esports pause, as you can probably expect. I think we were. I don't think there was much doubt in who was going to be calling this pause. But this has forced now SANGAL onto another sort of minimal buy round. It's pretty hefty considering the circumstances, though. You've still got a Mac 10 for Major, a couple Tech 9s, a Deagle, and a lot of utility that could pose a big issue for the endpoint side. It looks like it's going to be a very, very simple execute in towards this B site, but with just all of their bases covered. That's a nice shot from Thomas to remove the threat from the back lines, and with that said and done, it's all closed down. Since I did find one on the Tech 9 coming late in towards the site, but not really what you'd hope for. If you are SANGAL, I suspect you'd probably be hoping to at least get a couple kills, maybe be able to get the bomb plant before rotations come in. Something like that would be nice, as now they sit 7 rounds behind the endpoint side. Bear in mind, though, this is the endpoint map pick, so you've still got a the second map of Inferno coming up, which is a SANGAL pick. However, endpoint pretty handy Inferno. Not gonna lie, SANGAL endpoint are pretty handy Inferno. They've had some rough results recently, but you still consider them a pretty strong Inferno team. Surreal opens things up in this round, or takes down Major as the push comes in towards the A site. Smokes block off the avenues, but Engine's already pushed in deep. Taking down Mighty Max and giving them a 4-on-4. And Mezzi just has to try and hide inside of that smoke. Doesn't want to go out either side in case there's a molly behind him or a player watching him from the front. Either way, he's probably dead if he strays out with that smoke. And Surreal on the secondary ult, putting up more damage. Sensei was looking to try and go aggressive himself and instead pays the price. Messi's going to be under a bit of fire here towards the window room, but a great opening shot. Can't double it up onto Engine, but he's done enough there, keeping things in the endpoint advantage and at least doing a bit of damage onto Engine as well, but Paz just spraying through the smoke. Surreal's now going to hold it instead. Needs his teammate to provide cover, and he's still just sticking it, but finally Paz takes the shot through the smoke, and they find him. Crucial's now left alone. Did he see the player in the corner? Needs to try and find the shot. Will get it, but the timer is just so low now that Crucial just has no chance, and I'm surprised nobody was covering towards the ramp there. Considering the bomb being planted in that position, I'm surprised Paz was able to peek out twice and kill the bomb diffuser twice when there was players who were able to cover. Like, you don't have to worry so much about that player jungle, considering the bomb's planted on the opposite side of triple. That player jungle just has to guess and spam through the boxes. That's a bit of a slip up from endpoint. Probably should have been their round. See if they can make do with a P execute, though, because SANGAL are coming in thick and fast and finding the kills they need. Immort, nice damage from him, gets a couple, and Crucial's just going to try and escape out of that market, out of the B site. try and get some safety towards Surreal, but they do go brothers in arms trying to escape. Sensei might be able to cut off the rotations or the saves here, but nice shot from Crucial. Does actually take him down, but still, this is still a difficult situation for Endpoint to try and save these weapons in. Man, they're just finding all the shots. Okay, fair enough. I was expecting at least one of these SANGAL players to find a kill, but I guess Endpoint are just determined to save these rifles, so it ends up being a very costly round for SANGAL. Just Engine surviving. Crucial carries that up into the next round, so Real will carry a FAMAS in. Very nice work, in fact, from Endpoint, because that allows a little bit of danger this next round in a round that would have been pretty much a full eco otherwise. There's now just the 5-round deficit. As Sprout versus Game Legion is currently sat at 9-10. So, still very close game, and SANGAL looking for a bit more here, as just spraying through the smoke. Fair play from Immer. Been able to get themselves a 2-man advantage, SANGAL. I think Endpoint probably just save off the back of that again. You still got the FAMAS, you still got the AWP. Maybe you try and get something with this. Maybe leave the Deagle around, which looks like that is what they are doing, just to maybe try and find a kill, do a bit more damage, maybe stall the hunt for the saved weapons. But Mighty Max does get caught, and that FAMAS now in Thomas's hands, and Crucial with the AWP once again. Just going to be holding on to these weapons, and I think they should be fine in these positions. SANGAL a long way back from them, so it's going to be a long time before they reach these Endpoint players. Even if they sprinted as fast as they could. But another round for SANGAL, 9 on the board. So the lead is starting to close up a little bit here. You've got now just a 4-round deficit to overcome. SANGAL keeping things pretty close here. After it was looking like Endpoint might just streak away with the lead, but Crucial's AWP. They're still going to try pushing in towards B. That is a big ball call. They're still going to try pushing in towards B, and really they shouldn't have tried at all, because Mezzy's there with a 3K on that salvaged AK. I think, did it drop out the window into Mezzy's hands? That is huge for Endpoint. That is one of the only ways you win that round out. The AK dropping out the window right into Mezzy's hands, and giving Endpoint a 14th off a round they really shouldn't have been able to pick up there. That was a minimal investment round from them, and you've got now a great situation for the Endpoint guys, where it's now 14-9, 5-round lead once again. You push SANGAL's economy right onto the brink. If you win this one, you've got a pretty clean shot at 16 as well. Mezzy just trying to spray through the smoke towards short. Does spot out one, actually takes him down, but looking like it's going to be all Endpoint in the kill feed here, although Paz and Sensei have a little bit to say about things, as they do manage to get in towards this B site, and they should be able to get the bomb planted as well. 3-on-2 retake required. And we've seen previously how this has gone wrong for Endpoint. They know one plays over by the pillars towards short. Being very careful not to give up the kill. Instead, as I say that, Paz just goes for the wide swing and dies, leaves Sensei in a 1v3, making a 1v2 with that kill onto Mezzy. Just the double AWPs needing to push in towards the site now, and Surreal gets a perfect time onto Sensei there. So it is 15 and most likely 16 here. That bomb plant gives SANGAL a bit of extra to boost to this next buy, the extra $800. You can see what a difference it makes here. You can see, obviously, Sensei not close enough to get that AWP, $4,300 for him, but they can get some AKs through. They can get some decent weapons, a couple Gleals. It's gonna be a decent round. It's gonna be a decent attempt from SANGAL, but the economy, the utility could be the defining factor here. SANGAL. Managed to garner a lot of space towards mid. Look how far Engine's pushed up. Never mind, he's dead now. Mezzy. Good bit of time in there with that peeking towards Connector. Catches him at sort of a bit of an awkward time. Immo has been able to find one in return. And now Paz. Oh, this is huge from Connector. That is massive from Connector. There's 3 very quick kills come through from him, leaving Thomas alone in a 1 versus 4. Damage done to a couple of these players, but Immo's going to take him down with the AWP. Endpoint going to have to wait a little bit longer if they want to secure 16 here, because... Oh, Jesus. Are they gonna... They're gonna go all in. That is a risky call from Endpoint. That is a very risky call from Endpoint. This could give SANGAL a route back into this. This could really give SANGAL a route back into this. Endpoint want to end it now. They've got 2 MP9s, a FAMAS, an M4 for Mighty Max, and the AWP for Crucial. Let's see how this goes, but it could be not what they hoped for. It could be a very, very rude awakening, perhaps. But Crucial does get an opening kill. Surreal doubles up with the MP9, and that's the bomb dropped. Okay, this could work out. This could still work out for Endpoint. Take back everything I said. Endpoint are in a great position now, as SANGAL have to try and... Oh, Jesus. SANGAL have to try and recover for this bomb. Surreal just nails Sensei through the smoke. I think a jump there gave away his position. There's just 2 players alive now for this SANGAL side, but they're still going to keep on fighting. Major and Imma have been 2 great performers for this SANGAL side so far. Imma especially has had some great rounds, but the bomb's still not been collected. And Thomas is going to be on the flank as well. Could find Major in a moment. See what the timing is going to be, but they're going to be coming towards Thomas here. By the looks of things, the bomb looked like he wanted to rotate off. Maybe they instead go for a split towards his A site. Like that might be the today's menu. Today's choice from the menu, actually. It's going to be up to Mighty Max towards the connector here to find the shot. Can't do it. That closes the gap. 3 on 2. And now Crucial. Can he bang out this shot towards him? No, he can't. He goes down. Thomas does find Major trying to scurry his way in towards the window. And then with 10 seconds on the clock, there's surely no way this can work out. Long range, Thomas finding lots of damage. And it's Mezzy who closes it down. So it is going to be 16-10. The final score on map 1.